Week five, week five. We is in week five with Bucs talk, baby. And you know we got to talk about the Bucs. The Bucs won a hard shootout, but before we get into that, we must, and I say we must get into them scores. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we got the LA Rams against the 49ers. At the Rams, they lose at home against the 49ers, 23-26. The Jets can't catch a break. They still losing at home and everywhere else. But they faced the Cowboys and they lost to the Cowboys 37-22. Daniel Jones and the Colts are still doing what Daniel Jones and the Colts do, which is win. They towed Pete Carroll up in the Raiders, and it was at home for the Colts, 46. The Dirty Birds finally went down, and I'm not talking about the Falcons. I'm talking about the Eagles. At home against Sean Payton in the Broncos. Broncos take that 21-17. You got the Cardinals and the Titans. Cam Ward got his first win, but he almost didn't because the running back cost the Cardinals the game at home. I don't know. It feel like all the home teams are losing. But the Cardinals go down. 22-21 Titans. And the coach just got fined for giving it to his running back. But he wasn't wrong. I just heard by a source, which happened to be the internet, the Bengals go out and get Joe Flacco. How do you go get Joe Flacco? He just got benched. That makes no sense. But they lost at home against the Fighting Lions, who happen to be one of the best in the league, if not the best right now. 37-24, Lions take off. Another home loss with the Patriots fighting against the Bills. Stephon Diggs did what Stephon Diggs do to let them know you let go of dog. 23-20, Patriots take off. Another at-home loss. The Browns start Dylan Gabriel. It was out in international, but they lose, and they was considered at home against the Vikings, who also have a quarterback problem because they starting quarterback is hurt. 21-17, Vikings take that one. A home win goes to the Saints, who happen to be in the Bucs division against New York, and it's they starting rookie quarterback Jason Dart. Second start, he loses to the Saints, and I think the Saints get their first win, 26-14. Saints take that. Lamar goes down again, but he was not starting. It was the second string fighting against the Texans at the Ravens Stadium, and the Ravens go down 10-44. Texans take off. Chargers go down. I think they 3-2 to the Commander Washington at home, which is the Chargers. They go down 2017. And Liam Cohen and the Jaguars are 4-1, and that must be a record because they ain't been 4-1 in a while. And they just so happen to beat Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. Yeah, at home, they beat them at a close one, 31-28. And of course, we get out to the shootout, what happened to be the Bucs in Seattle, one of the best games in a shootout. We didn't know where the defense was at, but it was at Seattle, and the Bucs win that one 38-35 with a Levante David interception. Now, Levante David been looking like an old age Levante David, and hopefully he get it together. But they say Father Time is undefeated, and he been looking at it. But the best thing about that is he came up when veterans really supposed to come. And he got the sack at the end when nobody could stop nobody. The people are mad at the defense of the Bucs and wondering what Todd Bowles is going to do. But in my opinion, sometimes you just have them shootouts. And not to take away that the defense need to be a little better or tighten up, but let's not forget we left things on the field like a Yaya Diaby play that he's supposed to intercept, he walks in the touchdown. Or Antonio Winfield catching a deflected ball, but they say Zion McCollum was holding, which he hasn't been playing his best football this year. So yes, the defense needs to tighten up or get right, but at the same time, shootouts happen, and Seattle is a good team, and Todd Bowles and the defense came when it really mattered. So we got to give kudos to that and not forget that, because I feel like as fans and some reporters, we like to get so much on Todd Bowles, but give Baker Mayfield and the Bucs in the offense, a break and wait on them to get things together. But we wouldn't be 4-1 without either side of the football. Just say we need to get better. But to hate on the defense because it was a shootout, hey man, when you got two good offensive teams, sometimes that happen. But what matters was what defense make the right plays. And we did, which we had 2 turnovers that possibly could have been 4 or at least even 3. But overall, we seen 4 that we left out there, which would be 2. Hassan Reddick, he didn't get a touchdown. A sack. But at the same time, he played good in coverage. And I heard my guys over there at Peter report saying he needs to come on and get with it. Him and Yaya Diaby, which I agree to a certain extent. But he balled out, and the grades show that. And I get into that in a while. Now Baker, I got to give you the stacks of Baker because Baker's playing MVP level, but this is one of his first efficient games than he ever had. I think he had 3 drops, but I will go to the stats and let's get to it when it comes to Baker. Baker on Sunday went 29 for 33, 379 yards, and averaged 13.1. 2 touchdowns, and he gave up 1 sack. Rashad White did 14 for 41. That's 14 attempts for 41 yards. Mayfield was second with 5 attempts for 15. And Sean Taco was 3 for 3, which is 3 attempts for 3 yards. Emeka Buka had a shout-out game, and it was a homecoming because that's where he's from, and he was 7 for 7. 7 targets, 7 receptions for 163 yards, with K. Otten coming in second with 5 targets and caught 4 of them for 81 yards. And Johnson, the rookie, did his thing, 4 for 4 for 59. White came 4 for 4, 4 targets, 4 receptions for 30. Godwin, 4 targets, 3 catches for 26. And Shepard came up big with it, even a touchdown for 5 targets and caught 4 receptions for 24 yards. Tucker was negative, 3 for 3, but negative yards. Now, I believe he was negative 3 yards in passing, not because of him, but because of the coach. The coach seems to like the side-to-side, throw the ball to the running back. I would like the coach that's the offensive coordinator, Gazard, actually to give some of them balls in the middle of the field. Bucky Irvin, as I heard, will be out for another week. So this give Rashad Wright another chance to show who he is and show other 31 teams who he is. He played good. I would like more yards. But at the same time, I can't be mad because overall he was a stud, and the stats will show that other than just the yards. He had 2 touchdowns, and pass blocking was amazing as always as a running back, our top pass blocker running back by far. And I just think our coach sometimes need to put us in better decisions. And it's hard to say that because of the score, but I do not like that shallow stuff. I think we could throw it in another way and just throwing it, the running backs going out and he dumping it because teams are playing up. Now, going back to that play with Levante David, that was what you call a chess match. As Coach Bowles said, he was running that play often in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and he took a break from it. As Sam Darnold say, they expected it, but the time that Coach Bowles called it, Sam Darnold was worried about making sure he get a first down or even getting over to field goal range or even a touchdown to win the game. So when I say chess match, that was smart by Todd Bowles because Sam Darnold did say they focused on it, and he supposed to slide the protection over to that side. But because Todd Bowles didn't call it all games, and then he didn't blitz as much, what happened was in the time that we needed, and Todd Bowles said he saved it for a rainy day. The rainy day came, and that's when the interception came by Levante David. So when you think of things like that, you have to give the coaches kudos because that was very chess made play. Um, I want to give you the grades on both sides of the ball, and you tell me what you think, how this goes. Now, we're going to start off with defense, and we're going to start off with coverage. The coverage, the top person goes to Hassan Reddick. Who would have ever thought? I get mad as hell when Todd Bowles put this man in coverage, but oh my God, can we be mad? He was the top guy with the coverage on this day. And then Yaya Diaby happened to be uh, the top person. But if you pay attention to this right here, it's the amount of times they win in the coverage. So that's what makes them uh, where they're at. They took advantage. But as you can see, tackling, Hassan was not very good this game. But the other top coverage people would go to Antonio Winfield for the third, Tyke Smith for the fourth, Deion Jones, he went in 3 times. That was good. And then if I go to the numbers of how many coverages, then we look at it. Zion McCollum, man, that ain't good. The coverage ended up being 49. Uh David was next with how many? That ended up being 35. That's even more worse. Look like the old age. Jacob Paris did not have a good game. His coverage was 27. I think he was more on the outside. Tyke Smith, as we went over, Tony Winfield, as we went over, and Dennis, he was 55. So he was basically in the middle. Can't be mad at that. But if we go overall to total defense, Logan Hall happens to take total defense, followed by Vita Vea happens to take total defense. So the first two people is your lineman who had the best grades of defense, followed by Tyke Smith, and it goes so on to number 4, Antonio Winfield. And as you can see, I'll let you read it for yourself as it go down of the rank of who was best on defense. Levante David been at the bottom level, but he's old. He don't get an excuse, but he does. Hassan Reddick needs to move that up with number 13. Zion McCollum just got a payday, and that's definitely not okay. And all the way to the end, Jacob Parrish, probably one of his worst games he can have as the worst defensive player of that day against the Seahawks. Now we go to offense. By far, Baker Mayfield was the best, followed by the next best, Emeka Buka. And guess what? That bad man, Tristan Wirth, he's back with 82%. And what's good for Tristan Wirth, you want to look at the pass blocking for him. That was real good, which will happen to be 85, right with Rashad White, and run blocking. Run blocking. Just a sec. How do I get this over? Yeah, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Run blocking. When we go back to offense, I'm sorry. When you go back to offense and Tristan Wirth, run blocking would be, let me go all the way over. For Tristan Wirth will be 76. So he was 85. He was better pass blocking, but run blocking, he was 76, which happened to be pretty good. Rashad White was the 6th. K. Ogden was the 5th. And so on, as I let you see. And at the bottom, who had a bad day was Payne Durham with 37, and Charlie Heck. That we got to find out another left guard because this is ridiculous. Um, Ben Bredesen haven't been playing great, and he at guard since he been back. He was better as a center, but if we go up to where's the center? Graham Barton was number 7, and he finished with a 65. He was pretty bad um, last week, but he regained what he was doing. But overall, you see that Tristan Wirth is back. Baker Mayfield led, and of course the wide receiver rookie Emeka Buka, who's going for Offensive Player of the Year. He got the second best grade on offense. Now we are 4-1, and we looking good, and we can get better. I would like the personnel to still get better when Bucky come back. That's one of my big pet peeves. I definitely want Zion McCollum to definitely tighten up. He has to tighten up. It ain't no way around it. But we play the 49ers next week, and I think that's a winnable game. We don't know who starts, so coach said we're going to play the scheme, not the quarterback. It could be Mike Jones, who had a good game, or it could be Brock Purdy. But either way, we're gonna prepare for the scheme. It's a Tuesday. They wasn't in practice. They will be next week. We hope Mike Evans come back, so that's big. We hope Chris Godwin actually bounces back to a bigger game. And Luke Gedeke got one more game before we even look at him coming back. So, and ending with that, we definitely want Jamel Dean and Morris to come back because that was big, and that was the reason why we didn't blitz as much, in my opinion. But I will leave off with this once again. Yes, the defense needs to get better, but don't fault them because they came up in the win, and the only reason we won because of that sack. I'm sorry, the interception. If we don't have an interception, they most likely go to the kick the field goal or score because neither side can stop them to a certain extent. So I appreciate you talking Buck talk with me. We'll be back for week 6, but we was short, we was simple, and I see you next week. Bucks talk, baby.